everyone, and welcome to the Talks with Experts series, episode number 5 by Pixel Federation. My name is Matej, and today I'm joined by Stanley, our senior QA engineer.
Hi guys.
We've prepared some questions for Stanley, and we're gonna ask them later. But right now, if you're interested in these kinds of topics like QA, for example, feel free to join our Facebook group called Free to Play Game Developers. Link can be found in the description below. So let's start with the first question. Tell us, Stanley, why is video game QA so important?
QA acts as a counterweight to the design team because as a game developer you have quite limited and slightly biased view about your game, and it is good to have a seasoned, experienced player to play your game and tell his opinions about performance, bug issues and design ups and downs. The main goal of QA is to ensure that the product is in the intended quality, but also to bend, break, abuse and exploit the system to its limits, so it can be patched and improved for the end user. Also, QA acts as an information hub because QA is communicating mainly with designers and programmers, but also sending reports to the product managers about the state of the game or update, and working closely with the community management about issues, feedbacks and player moods.
So let's move to the next question. Tell us, Stanley, what are the main rules or advices for being a good QA?
Basically, you need to stick to the two basic rules of testing. First one is don't panic. If you are dealing with several technical or design issues and communicating them with your colleagues, it must be done in sane, pragmatic and goal-oriented way. Also, it shows that the situation is under control and everybody can relax and focus on the goal. Next thing is question of trust. Trust your colleagues, but don't trust the code or design. That means always check the work if it's doing what it's supposed to do, and mainly avoid blaming and finger pointing. Focus on the goal. As a QA, always keep remembering the development priorities. First one is survival. Focus on the functionality and the shipping date. Second is quality. Players like smooth and bugless games, but can excuse some minor hiccups. Also, you can score some bonus points with them when you prioritize the fixing issues according to them. Third is efficiency. Always try to improve the development process and testing process to ensure you can speed up the iteration of the updates and ensure the best quality to the players. It is important to always ask questions. You don't know how some future feature works from the documentation? Ask the designers. Something doesn't work as it should? Ask the programmers. Asking questions is one of the most important tools. You can not only inform and educate yourself, but also check if the other party knows what they are doing and how. Improving technical skills in the IT industry and gaming industry is a must. Deeper insight how code works, infrastructure, design principles can open a whole new level of perception how games work.
So Stanley, will you share some of the best practices using free-to-play QA?
Certainly, Matej. Risk prevention is the main goal of the QA department. QA has the best preview about the state of the game and update that is coming, and should use this knowledge to communicate with the product manager what is expected, what is reality in the game. Next advice I can give you is communication. I know I am repeating, but it is very important because most of the issues arise from the bad communication between people. QA should always bring up problems, because if the problem is not brought up, it's still a problem. Ideally, the QA should bring up problems through official channels. For example, we use Jira. Efficiency of the work can be greatly improved by the tools we use. In the beginning of the project, it is the QA that defines the basic features that the tools should have, and in the later development, it's good to bring other departments to pitch in their ideas about new features for the tools. When your game has a planned update, here are some best advices. Plan the update early in the week so you can have enough time for monitoring, tracking and occasional hotfixing. Always have an emergency plan if you have weekend outage so you know who you can contact to fix it ASAP. Also, be ready to compensate your players for your mistakes. If you can, publicly test your new update. Your hardcore players will happily give you their feedback and bug reports, and you can also score a bonus points for listening to the community. And the next advice I can give you is stop chasing quality unicorns. As you can see on this chart, the quality is a steep function related to time and effort. It is important to define the baseline, what is okay and what can slip away to the players. Don't forget, you are also the part of the product team and nobody is happy when you stop an update because some feature that is bugged affects 0.001% of players. But it also depends what players it affects and in what way.
So Stanley, what are the latest trends in QA and what can we see in the near future?
Thank you for asking. First trend is automatization. It's a hot topic in the latest years and the main goal is to make computer to do the most boring and tedious repetitive work. If you go for automatization, it's ideal to start from the beginning of the project so you can avoid hacks and workarounds and build solid framework for it. Automatization is a long-term investment because it requires a lot of work and effort, not just to build it, but also maintain it, but in the end, it really pays off. Also, I recommend if you go for this endeavor, have at least one dedicated person for it. And then there is the holy grail of the testing, AI, the most used buzzword in the IT industry in the latest years. AI will surely come to the testing. For instance, game logs, informations about players' actions in the right format can be fed through machine learning model so the AI bots can learn player behavior or invent new strategies, just like AlphaGo or OpenAI in Game of Dota. Through AI, we can test hundreds, maybe thousands test cases at once, and it is very good for the ever-evolving games where the combinations are too big for manual testing. The AI is certainly the future of testing. Then the human testers can focus on the more creative side of things like exploratory testing and by it, lay foundations for the new test cases for the AI.
Oh, wow! I don't have any more questions for you, Stanley. Thank you for the great interview.
My pleasure.
I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you got any questions for Stanley, feel free to post them below this video. I'm sure Stanley will be more than happy to answer them. And see you guys in the next episode.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a thumbs up and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel right here.